And like people talk about GameStop already, like they talk about the future of like, okay, so when the squeeze is squoze, when it really happens, that it's going to be the largest top-down wealth transfer in the history of the world. But you almost argue that we've already seen that with what happened in January and the hedge funds losing 70 billion, because the 70 billion didn't just evaporate. It ended up in the pockets of people like Roaring Kitty, and people who got in there early. And it's really curious or I find it really interesting that you think that we're going to see this level of transparency start to appear, because to me it appears that we've reached this point where the internet has become like, I thought that maybe 10 years ago that we'd already seen the like digital disruption that you were going to get from the internet, or from tech, through like these new internet banks popping up and like just platforms allowing people to trade and more cryptos. And just, I thought we'd seen the disruption already, and that was kind of done for like retail, that was done for finance, that finance had been disrupted and then once again subsumed by the large institutions. But now we're witnessing this almost battle, and something that Keith Gill, Deep Fucking Value, Roaring Kitty, whatever you want to call him, said in his testimony before Congress during the first hearing was that all of the people who were testifying, like Vlad or Gabriel Plotkin or any of them, they were 100% sitting there with 10 people behind the camera telling them what to say, how to react. They would have scripted their answers to things. They will have prepared them. They will have coached them. And he was just sitting there, like sharing his opinion, his thoughts based on his research for people to deal with. And it feels like we've almost got this like huge hive mind that has suddenly like come alive because of the information that is available. Obviously, there's a lot of sort of numbers, like as you said, that the numbers could drive you crazy, and it's incredibly complex, and for a reason as well. It's, you know, it keeps out the regular person, and we're seeing this like really weird like moment where the internet.
I can tell you, I actually. Let me stop you right there, Josh. That's beautiful, because you're starting to get to what is my bread and butter. This is the most exciting aspect of everything, because we're starting to draw what we're starting to see now, because there's such a heightened level of awareness in the regular individual about everything that's going on in the world. Initially, I believe that cool off period you were talking about when you thought that the disruption was over, that things settled. It's kind of like a stock price. It goes up, you know, there's a new catalyst, it goes up, and then it cooled off. And then all of a sudden, GME, Reddit, Wall Street Bets, AMC, boom, shorts again, it's blasting off. But that stock, that measurement, that graph is actually human awareness. So in my opinion, and again, this is the basis of which I wrote my first science fiction novel, The Spark, out of. It's a book that follows the growth of another sentient apex species in another dimension, from nomadic, egalitarian, harmonic, magic practicing people into sedentary, capitalist, artificially sentient, immortal people. And the growth from those positions and the transition in those eras and the effects on consciousness and the different cues and indicators that were very much relevant to, it's very much relevant to what we're seeing today. And this is where I get into bigger, you know, in my series, Beyond the Light, I actually present my theory of cyclical consciousness. I give my proposal as to why the Big Bang happened and why it will continue to happen again and again. I give a bunch of really interesting dialogue about what it's like to participate as an individual with a sentient mind, and what it's like for groups of sentient minds to participate together, and what some of the confusing aspects to that interaction might be, and how to essentially, you know, confront, or maybe I propose ways that I would confront it. With what is going on in the financial market, we're starting to see a manifestation of people who are aware that things are not right. And this is, again, for a long time, it's great for people, the hippie revolution. In the 70s, we saw all these people that were like, we don't want to do these things. We're not going to be controlled. Our perception is not going to, we're not, no to Vietnam, peace, love, happiness. But they weren't affecting what fuels the world going round, which is what we all talk about. What makes the world go round? Money. And now with our generation, with these individuals who are so privy and so good with, I've seen people that can use phones way better than me, and that can use the internet way better than me, that can use these different mechanisms of relaying information in a way to get a message across to thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people very quickly, within days. Mm-hmm. That for an individual to be able to do that, that's never been had before. So what we're seeing is the perfect melting environment for mass, what I call the mass consciousness, for its true subconscious of the whole hive mind. There is a hive mind. There is very much so a connection between all living organisms. And what we've always seen in storytelling, what we've always seen since one of the greatest storybooks, in my opinion, of all time. It also has some really great, motifs, the Bible. It's always this battle between good and evil, the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the male and the female, the one and the zero. We're always seeing these dichotomies that it seems like there's the dueling nature of the two hemispheres of the mind, the creative and the logical. We see this occur over and over and over again. And what we're starting to see now is the manifestation of that on a very big scale. So the suppression that has been had of what's been going on financially for the middle class is something that's been going on for a while. And this is the manifestation of us pushing through that and breaking past that suppressive barrier, and now having to shed light on what has been dark for so long. And all of these things are coming out. And now there has to be, because the accountability that the internet provides, there has to be change, or we as a group will do what we've always done to tyrannical leaders, and we will go into their castle, rip them out, and be like, all right, you're done.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not 100% what form that revolution takes in the 21st century, but I think you're 100% right that this is what we're approaching. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, or sign up to our mailing list. Thanks a lot to our sponsor, ExpressVPN, the #1 most trusted VPN. Get lightning fast connectivity with servers in 160 locations across 94 countries. Keep your browsing privacy safe with ExpressVPN, and get a 35% discount on 12 months of ExpressVPN when you follow the link in the description below. Don't forget, my book is now out and available to order on Amazon and on bookshop.org. That's Brexit, the Establishment Civil War. And most importantly, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.